Yeah, I'm not going to make this video too long or actually delve into all the angles that could possibly go on this, because this could be one of those hold you on the edge of the seat type deals. But like I said, I'm not playing Conspiracy 101 on this channel. But then again, I don't ignore all the weird stuff that happens in the world, because conspiracies are real and there's a lot of garbage going on that you got people behind the scenes pulling the strings, right? Now, this was on the Georgia Guidestones. If you know where the Georgia Guidestones, they're not that far away from Atlanta, Georgia. They were put up there about 30-something years ago. And actually, they were finished and completed on a specific date. Well, come this past September, there was a stone at it, and somebody said it was a joke, it was a prank, or whatever the hell it was. It may not be. It may not be. And I'm going to get into some things here. And I'm not trying to scare people for profit here, but you know, I kind of found this to be a little bit too coincidental in some ways. If you're thinking outside the way, you know, the bad boys on the top think, you're gonna see that maybe something to this. Well, first off, these stones, these Georgia Guidestones, here's the first commandment on it, basically, or first guiding light type of proclamation, or whatever you want to call it, commandment or whatever it is, suggestion. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Probably can't read it that good on here, but you can read it pretty much anywhere else. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Basically, telling which people will be, reproduced and genetic modification, maybe, I don't know. A society controlled by the elite, right? I don't know. But let me put it this way. This stone was here several years ago. It didn't have an inscription on it. It was supposedly stolen. And, well, it was stolen. And then in September 2014, they added it back again. And 15 days later, they took it away. Basically, it had the words on it, inscription 2014. But actually, that wasn't the only thing that was out there. That was what it was showing. On the opposite side of it, it had 16-8 JAM like in jam and MM like in Michael. I don't know what the hell that means, to tell you the truth, you know. But, you know, there it is. That's what it was showing. And it was up there for 15 days before it was destroyed and it was taken out. Now, I want to get on to something else. If you remember back in, I don't know, it was the 70s, you had the Godfather movie came out. Now, I only watched that movie once. I know a lot of people are into it like a cult movie, but I think maybe I did watch it twice, many years ago. I'm not familiar with all the stuff in it, but Genco olive oil was actually the front for the family's criminal activities, right? And, you know, usually you got like a small place so you don't freaking attract a lot of attention. You know, that's basically how the mafia operates all the time. You know, all this bullshit they show on TV where, you know, highfalutin dollars. You know, mafias drive old cars, man. They don't drive big black limos. They play low profile. But anyway, Genco olive oil, right? So that was in the movie. You remember olive oil imported Genco, and they had the major wars. Now, I want to also point to this tarot card. This is the 15th tarot. This is the 15th tarot card. The devil. 15. That stone was up there exactly 15 days. You know, before it was taken down. I don't know if that has anything to do with this tarot card. Just a point of interest. I'm not going to make a big deal about it and throw creepy music in the background and say, ooh, but, you know, I'm just pointing these things out, okay? Now, the other thing is 322. The Georgia Guidestones were actually completed on March 22nd, 322, 1980. You know the number of, in the Illuminati, whatever the hell symbol this is, it's actually the skull and bones. You know, George Bush, John Kerry, and such. You know, the Skull and Bones Society, that basically says they're the bones men that pretty much go to all influential parts of society in the West. And they seem to control a lot. It seems that people that graduate from Yale that were part of this society seem to be very influential figures. You know, you don't really have to dig too far to really think that, you know, there might be a real conspiracy to this deal, right? That's their number, 322. 322. The Georgia Guidestones, erected on 322, 1980. Again, Genco. Remember Genco, right? Remember Genco. That's the one in Godfather where actually 1940, late 1945, Vito Corleone was gunned down outside the offices by men loyal to the Tagliata family in Scalozzo, Virgil Scalozzo, right? So what happened? Here's the guy that actually took the stone out 15 days later after. Genco. Genco. Came from Genco. Notice the bull symbol on the top. The bull symbol on the top. Now, there's a lot of different things about this 322 date a lot of people don't get. It even goes back to ancient times. But olive oil is also considered light. Light for the lamps. Truth, light. Freemasons, you know what I mean? That type of stuff. Now, I'm going to point something else about 322 because, you know, there's a lot of theories why, you know, the Skull and Bones used 322, which is when the Georgia Guidestones were put up. Now, the Georgia Guidestones cost $20 million back in 1980. I don't know what that is in today's money, but it's probably like a good $50 million, right? But anyway, and during a time of recession, pretty much, 1980, you know, wasn't like really good. That was actually 79 was the time when we had the height of the silver, platinum, and palladium and gold, right? That way back when. And because of stagflation and all that other garbage, so why did somebody blow $20 million on some stones, right? There's something to it. And a date, 322. Then you got Genco taking the stuff down. Isn't that kind of weird? Nobody knows about who this guy is. Now I'm going to tell you this. Genco, they passed out. I'll show you the picture again. This guy, he passed out the fragments or all the stone to the crowd. That may mean something in itself. That may mean it's like, here you go. Here you go, man. You got it. It's going to start. That's what it may mean. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying that. But March 22nd, in pagan times, a lot of people don't realize this, but actually everything that's Christian pretty much is rooted in paganism to the max. You will not believe it. Even like I know people know about Christmas and the pine cones and a Christmas tree and all that type of stuff. But even if you go to March 22nd, it's you know, it's basically it's spring equinox. Sometimes it's related to human sacrifice, but it's also related to the god Ashtar or Ishtar, right? Ishtar. Actually, that's where the word Easter, Thames, comes from. It's the Illuminati's human sacrifice night, March 21 to 22nd. Illuminati's human sacrifice nights. It might have something to do with the damn Skull and Bones number. Easter is actually, you think it has to do with Jesus. It's supposed to have to do with Jesus, but actually has nothing to do with the time he was actually killed, when he's crucified. Pagans even have an equivalent to the Good Friday. It's called Easter Friday. So what I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of things you think that are the way they are. They aren't that way. God is. I'm getting this right. I'll point to the link where I got this. You can look at all the stuff in there. Babylon goddess Ishtar is one of the most, the one whom Easter is named. Pagan traditions of holidays. In reality, she was Semiramis, wife of Nimrod, the real founder of the satanic Babylonian mysteries. All around 322. So that's when the Georgia Guidestones were basically, put up. So I'm not going to get into this too far because you can go down a rabbit hole too many different ways with this deal. But I'm a little more suspicious now. You know, they took the stone out. That means there's no problem. It was a hoax. Maybe it wasn't a hoax. They're telling you something right in front of you. That's what I'm thinking. And you know what I'm thinking now? Ebola, right? Ebola. Now, the deal is, you know, with Ebola, who the hell you got out there telling you that we're gonna wait for a solution for Ebola? It's gonna be Bill Gates. He's gonna come out with a vaccine, right? You trust that bastard? I don't. I think he's a piece of shit, to tell you the truth, man. I never buy his software, you know. It don't cost me nothing. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. There's probably some cures for the damn bullshit, because I'll tell you, nobody, if it is a plot to erase humanity, the elite are not gonna freaking unleash something they don't have a cure for. But I'm going to tell you, man, I'm getting a lot of arguments with these assholes about colloidal silver shit. That might work on a countertop or a doorknob or some bullshit like that. It ain't going to cut it working in the body, but do what the hell you want. I'm going to tell you that again 50 million times over, because I do know a lot more about this stuff than these people regurgitating bullshit on the internet. I do know a lot more about this deal and the way viruses work. But, you know, I'm not saying not to do it. Do it all you want, but it ain't going to work. But I'm going to tell you this, you know, the deal is that might be a symbology when this guy took the stone out and he handed it to the people 15 days after it was put up, that it might be something to do with fulfillment of, yeah, we were going to release what we want to be released now. And that was 15 days after the, you know, which is the devil right here, man. You know what I mean? The 15th tarot card. I don't know if it has anything to do with that or not. It may not. You know, you can't read too much into these numbers because there's so many freaking numbers out there you can read into. You can make something out of nothing, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't even mean anything. But I'm suspicious now with this Ebola stuff and the way the government's handling it. You know, allowing all these flights to come in the United States. Once this thing kind of gets a foothold, where there's like several outbreaks a day, it's gonna ignite fast, man. It's gonna ignite fast, and once you get to a certain point, they're gonna be overwhelmed. So, I think there's something to this deal, man. I do. I think there is. I mean, I can't prove it, but I'm smelling something here. Like I don't want to use that word exactly, but I'm suspicious. You know, who the hell was this Genco guy? Red shirt with a bull, right? Kind of weird, huh? And then, you know, if he takes the stone out, why does he break it up and give it to the crowd? Why not keep the stone someplace as evidence of a crime? Why break it up and give it to the crowd? Do you ever think of that? I mean, if that was a prank, wouldn't you keep the stone and put it as police evidence someplace so you could kind of maybe figure out, you know, hey, who chiseled this? Was it done with a machine? Did somebody do it? No. They basically destroyed the evidence, but they're not destroying the evidence. It's like they passed it out to the people. There we go. We're releasing it. And we got Ebola going on. Now, one thing was kind of weird, too. I don't know if Jesse Jackson's in with the freaking elite. He might be somewhat, but maybe not. But, you know, he went down to freaking Texas, and he was mingling with the family of the Ebola victim. You know, shaking their hands and hugging them. And I bet you that guy's thinking about it today, man. I'm thinking, man, you know, you're one freaking, you know, that guy, I don't like that guy, Jesse Jackson. He's just, he's out there for money, playing bullshit. You know what I mean? That's what I say. And I'm thinking, you know, right now he's probably went home and he's thinking about, hey, I was hugging all these people that was with the victim that died and stuff in the hospital, which was ludicrous. He had like 100-something fever and they sent him home, right? But Jesse Jackson, he might get the shit too, and everybody around him. I don't know. Jesse Jackson's a sellout, just like a lot of other fucking people, man. I'm telling you that right now. So, anyway, I don't want to make this sound like a mafia conspiracy because it just, you know, what I'm thinking though, it's kind of weird that they had this Genco guy come down here, and I'm thinking, I don't know, who the hell knows, man? Who the hell knows? I think that 2014 does have something to do with it. It wasn't just a prank. They're telling you it's a prank because they don't want you to worry now. And I don't want you to worry. I want you to just think and take appropriate action in a cool head. That's what I'm telling you to do. I already said what I do against Ebola. You know, like I'd use frequencies or vitamin C and a Chinese astragalus root in massive quantities and all that kind of shit. I wouldn't be, and maybe even if you can ever get this is a specific HIV drug, but you got to get that with some kind of prescription. I mean, you couldn't get that. I couldn't get that. But, you know, there's something out there that supposedly gives you a 93% chance of survival. But I'm going to tell you this. If this Ebola deal is real, well, it is real. You know, even the people that get over it, are they going to be carriers? Are dogs and cats going to be carriers? Are cows going to be carriers? Horses going to be carriers? I mean, you know, it could be all over the place. And then if something else comes on top of this, like a bird flu, you're dead meat, right? So, they put it to this way, man. Shit's coming down, I think. I think it is. I mean, I'm not trying to freaking play scare the crap out of you, but I think it is. You know, when it does, it's like you can't, you don't, you know, there's a lot of false alarms, right? You know? So, I don't know, man. This 322, and when the Stones was put up, the Skull and Bones, 322, 1980 was when it was put up. Genco takes the damn thing down. Genco and Godfather. The symbol of the bull, the symbol of the olive oil, which means light. Instead of keeping the stone as evidence for something, you know, I know they're not going to get much evidence out of that, but why would you just break it up and give it to the crowd? You know, why give it to the crowd? It's like, here you go, population. It's being spread. I don't know, man. I'm just thinking here. I don't know. I don't know this for a fact, but I ain't worried about it because I think I got my shit together, to tell you the truth. But most people won't listen. I know that. Most people will not listen, and the ones that do listen, they're like running around with a chicken with a head cut off, and they're freaking worried about every stupid thing in the world. I'm not. But I'm just putting this out. I'm trying to be like rational about this. I'm not trying to play fearmonger, but I think there's something to this crap. And they got something coming down, man. They got something coming down. Old Diablo here, man. You know, 322. And if you never knew this stuff about, you know, the Christian traditions and where they got Easter from and Christmas and all this stuff, I'll point to the link on this site. It's all rooted in pagan tradition. It's not. I know the Christians don't think of it that way, but you got to remember, former religion is not exactly, definitely is not exactly what Christ actually taught. It's former religion. It's a matter of controlling the population. It's not Christ's real message. And it's my opinion, most people who are Christians are not. They're not following Jesus, man. They're following some stuff that makes them think they feel better than everybody else or some garbage, you know. But that's just my opinion. But anyway, 322 goes back to Ishtar. Ishtar, man. You Illuminati sacrifice nights, and she's the one actually Easter was named. 322, pagan tradition and holidays. 322, 321, 322. And Genco, you know, the olive oil and the mafia and all other stuff. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I can't freaking prove this, but I know on one side some people are going to be thinking it's dead on. That's definitely true. And on the other side, people say it's a bunch of crap. But I kind of look at it like, hey, that's interesting. I'm not going to ignore it. So that's exactly how I'm going to put it. It's interesting. It's possible. I'm not going to ignore it. That's how, and I'm not going to freak out about it either.